David Bay here for MuscularDevelopment.com. We are in Miami for the 2015 NPC Nationals, and I am hanging out here with super heavyweight competitor Jonathan Irizarry. Now, Jonathan, you came here in 2013, got a sixth place finish in a stacked heavyweight class. I know there were some people who had you a little bit higher, but coming here in 2015, this is your first time competing as a super heavyweight.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I feel good. I'm able to put on a little bit more size, come in here and just kind of see exactly what happens.
All right. Now, as far as your prep time, your conditioning in 2013 was absolutely fantastic, and we know a lot of guys when they start pushing, when they start pushing the weight and trying to move up in classes, sometimes that can be sacrificed. In order to try to combat that, I mean, as far as your prep, same amount of time that you had for 2013, or give us a little bit of a layout.
Well, actually, it was a little bit shorter, given that I had a broken wrist to start off my entire prep. So whenever I started my prep in 2013, I actually started at 6 months out. With this one, it was roughly around 16 to 18 weeks out.
Okay.
So, that having to rebuild myself again, especially with my upper body and just this whole side, I can say that my conditioning is pretty close. I'm not going to say I'm that far off. So.
All right, now a question, let's step away from dieting and competition questions just for a second and talk about training a little bit, because I know sometimes when guys have injuries, there's kind of this back and forth on should I use free weights to help strengthen all the stabilizers and everything surrounding everything, or should I use machines so there isn't any balance issues and you can focus just more on a contraction. What did you do, to try to rehab, an arm, I guess if you can say rehab, and make sure that, that there was even symmetry across? I mean, did you focus on machines or free weights or a blend of both?
Yeah, I did. I did put in a lot of machine work to start off with, but I did obviously implement some of the free weights, dumbbell work, just to be able to get those stabilizer muscles working back again, and again just re-strengthening the wrist and then again the entire arm as a whole, because it was difficult to start off with, because honestly I just couldn't put any pressure on my wrist, and that's really where the struggle was. So
benching, shoulder presses,
yeah,
all that stuff.
It took about, say, 8 weeks for me to be able to get the strength back up. But from that point on, it was money. I didn't really have any problem as far as lifting in the gym. But like doing normal stuff like push-ups and things like that, it still was a hindrance. Even now, even till today, it's hard for me to actually do a regular push-up just because the putting pressure on the outside of my wrist is still not there.
Sure. All right. Now, as far as being a super heavyweight, obviously anything over 225, super heavyweight. Everybody always wants to know where people fall. First time competing as a super, what did you weigh in at, or where do you feel like you're going to weigh in at?
Well, I weighed in at 231. Okay. So, it wasn't too far off. I didn't, I kind of contemplated dropping down as a heavyweight, but I figured that, I look great here. I might as well stay here and not try to do something drastic and end up ruining my look.
Right, and as we saw last year, we had super heavyweight Russ Allen, who's now an IFBB pro. I believe he weighed 228 or 229, got fourth in the supers, and weighed pretty similar to that at North Americans this year, and won his pro card twice, actually. So, as we've seen, scale doesn't really count for much on stage, but again, everybody's always asking how much people weigh. So before we wrap things up, any shout-outs, thank yous, anything you want to send out there?
I want to say thank you to Shredded Supplements for really helping me out. With kind of helped me with the prep, picking up some of the financial things. My friend Andrew Vu, he helped me out a lot, being a little second eye for me. Just everyone back home at Destination in Plano, and my family, of course. Gotta love them all, and just all the fans that my subscribers on YouTube, Instagram, all these people that that are out there and have been extremely supportive for me. Just kind of pushing me and motivating myself, to really get in and continue to push on and do this stuff.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for Jonathan and I. Make sure to check back to Muscular Development tomorrow. That is Friday at 1 p.m. That is Eastern. We are in Miami once again for the men's bodybuilding prejudging. Again, it's a 2-day event. Friday, 1 p.m. prejudging starts. We're going to have our live play-by-play with our real-time pictures going up in the threads, videos to follow, so make sure you check us out. But for now, that's going to do it. So one more time, this is David Bay with super heavyweight Jonathan Irizarry here from Miami for the 2015 NPC Nationals for MuscularDevelopment.com.